guys, let's get pumped up. Welcome to this week's episode of Pumped Up Outdoorsman, where I'm going to take you into my top spring bass fishing tactics. Today we're going to go into pre-spawn, spawn, and bed fishing. This is one of my favorite times of year to bass fish. It produces some of the biggest fish in my opinion, and it's one of the most fun times to fish. I'm Caleb White. I'm the cousin of the original Pumped Up Outdoorsman, and I think we should start with my first bait. This is a swim jig. It's essentially the same thing as a finesse jig. It's just got a little bit more flash, a different head style. But this is a fantastic bed fishing tactic. You pitch it in there and kind of swim it by. Most of the time that big female, within the first 2 or 3 casts, will just choke something like this. So this is a great bed fishing tool, pre-spawn and spawn tool. The next thing I want to go into, this is my favorite. This is a Mark Pack series football head jig with a crawdad trailer. I like to call it the Jig and Pig. This is a fantastic bed fishing tactic. It works essentially the same way as the swim jig. You pitch it in there and it just gets kind of in that fish's territory, and just something in them triggers them to bite. And this is a fantastic spawn, pre-spawn bed fishing tactic. The next thing I want to go into is the drop shot. This is a relatively new bait for me. I haven't used it much, but the amount I've used it, I've had fantastic results, great success. I've caught my personal best bass off of the drop shot. The way you rig a drop shot, you do a small weight at the bottom and about 12 inches up. I use, this is a Mustad no twist shot, and it's a size 1 hook, and this is a Biospawn cuttail worm, and this is a 12-pound fluoro. And so the way you fish this is you drop it in and you just kind of dead stick it and let it jiggle. And when that bait is in that fish's face for so long, just kind of wiggling and twitching, it produces fantastic results on the bed fish. You just get to keep it right in their face the whole time. So this is, again, a fantastic tactic for bed fishing. The next thing I want to get into, this is one of my favorites as well, is a ridged ribbon tail worm. This is a fantastic tactic for pre-spawn when the fish are just starting to get really aggressive. I like to use this weightless. You bring this right up on the banks, you just cast it off 5 or 6 feet. And this is when the fish are just starting to push up shallow and they're getting really aggressive, and they'll just hammer it right against the shoreline. And this is fantastic pre-spawn bait. This is I think this is pumpkin green with a golden fleck in it, and this is made by Bonehead Tackle. Next thing I want to get onto, this is a tube. This is also a great creature bait to throw on beds. This is a Mismo tube, I believe, and I've got it on a 4/0 hook, and when you pitch it into that bed, it just stands up like so, and all these little appendages they float around and they spread out, and they kind of wiggle and throb and pulse. And this is a fantastic bed fishing tactic. This is the only topwater that I've included on this list. This is a Head-On Super Spook. This is it's a walking bait. It walks left and right, something like a frog, except it's less weedless. It has treble hooks on it. And this is fantastic spawning bait, because you can run it right over their beds and it'll just trigger a reaction strike out of them. This is one of the better baits on the list. The next one I want to go to, this is a rattle trap. Rattle traps, if you're not familiar, it's basically a lipless crankbait. There's no lip right here, just a flat head, and it's flat-sided instead of rounded like traditional crankbaits. And it'll run 5 or 6 inches under the water with a very tight vibration, but it has extremely loud rattles in it, and the vibration just gets these fish to strike, and it's very violent. There's a huge hit when it comes to fishing with rattle traps. It's a great technique for pre-spawn and during spawn bass fishing. And I think this brings us to the last bait of choice. This is a buzzbait. I believe this is a Buddha buzzbait. with a built-in squeak to it. And this is in a, I think, diamond shad color, if I'm not wrong. And this is the half-ounce model. And this is well, I was wrong. This is the other Topwater. And this is a great bait because it makes huge commotion on the water. The wake is huge. Just a fantastic bait overall. That is all. That concludes our list of spring bass tactics for the spawn, post-spawn, pre-spawn, and bed fishing. Make sure you guys leave a comment, like, subscribe, and show us some love on the rest of our videos. Thanks, you guys.